Hello there and welcome. I'm Ole Brøgger, and if you're new here, I really hope I'll earn your subscription today. Today I got two things for you. First, we are going to unbox this little package. I got it from the Golden Marble. They make some very good brushes, they say, and I have heard a lot good things about them. So now I wanted to try it out. They sent me these for free so I could test them, and then I got these two miniatures. My cousin, who's living in New Zealand, she's married to a very nice guy called Tony. He is very interested in New Zealand history and especially their armed forces. I found some very nice miniatures on my mini factory and I 3D printed it to give him so he can bring it back home. So I think it will be a very good opportunity to paint these and use these golden marble brushes. So we better get started. Okay, let's see what's inside this package. We got a very nice cutting mat and it has some illustrations of the proportions of humanoids, and I think it's very nice to have a good comparison scale. It seems like it's a pretty standard quality, and I think this will become very handy for me when I'm painting miniatures. But the most interesting is their brushes. I'm looking forward to try them out. Again, they sent them for free. I have some affiliate links in the description below if you want to pick something up after you have watched this video. Let's see what's in this little nice box. I think the packaging is very nice. We got some dry brushes here. I'll just pull them out of this cellophane so it won't reflect so much in my lights. They seem to be very nice and soft, and the handles are also very nice and smooth. I really like these. Usually I use makeup brushes when I'm dry brushing, but I think these are looking very promising. And then if I can get all of these out of this cellophane, we have 4 miniature and model brushes of various sizes. We got a 00 brush for the details, and then we got a size 1, a size 2, and this is actually the sizes I usually use. And then we have a size 4. I started to use a bigger brush recently, and I think this is a very good size. I want to test out the tip here. It's very nice, soft, and it has a very good and pointy tip. It actually looks pretty sharp. And the price for these brushes are actually pretty reasonable. This whole set is the same price as just one brush of the most expensive brand. Look at those brush tips. And they're so nice and soft and very pointy. I think we should put them all to the test and see how they will perform. I'll start testing out these dry brushes. These are already primed with a black and a Cinefil highlight gray, and then I will just give them a final dry brush with some white paint to test out these dry brushes. First, we will start with the big one. This is a size 6. And this will give me a very good idea where to put some highlights and midtones and shadows. I usually only do this when I'm painting with speed paints, but today I will only paint with acrylics. This doesn't have the big purpose, except it will give me the idea of where to put the shadows and the highlights. I think I will have to test one of the smaller brushes as well, because there's some tight spots here where I want some dry brushing. We are losing a couple of hairs, but I think that's pretty common when I break in some new brushes. And what I really like about using this technique is usually when I have 3D printed a model, it's just totally gray or black, like in a monochrome color, and dry brushing is just so satisfying. Okay, I think I will try the medium size. This is a size 5, and see if I can get into some of those more tight spots. And still, it's the same nice quality as the big one. Let's try out number 3, so we can really get into those facial features here. I'm quite impressed over these dry brushes. They are losing a couple of hairs here and there, but that's pretty common when I'm breaking in a new brush. But overall, I think these are pretty nice dry brushes. So let's start painting these using the model brushes. I'll start using this size 4 for some of the base coating. I really like using a good large brush because it can hold a lot of paint and you can continue painting big surfaces. When the tip is pointy, you can also get into some pretty good detail areas. I'm still only using the size 4, and because of that very nice and pointy tip, I can actually paint some pretty nice details here, even on the eyebrows. I never use metallic paints on my natural hair brushes, but to test this out, I will put some metal paint on one of them. There's nothing wrong using metal paints on these brushes, but you will decrease the lifespan of it very much. They will wear out a lot faster if you're using metal paints, speed paints, and even washes on these brushes. It's all about the lifespan, so there's nothing wrong in using metal paints or something, but then you just have to buy some new brushes because they will die, and it doesn't matter what brand or price or quality you are using it in. It is just a general thing for all brushes. Dedicate your natural hair brushes to only use acrylic paints. And I will even push this brush with some speed paints. The problem with washes and speed paints on these brushes, or any brush at all, it just sucks up the paint right into the ferrule and you can never get it out. So if you're using it, just keep the speed paint or wash on only the tip of the brush. If you're using a brush with speed paint or wash, then the risk of getting a split tip is very high. And I can see this is the same thing. This is not because of any brand or any other type of brush. It will start to split. Clean it fast after using washes, speed paint, contrast paints, or whatever, if you want your brushes to last longer. I gave this a very thorough cleaning, and now I got a nice pointy tip again, so that's a good thing. Another thing, I will test these brushes over a long-term use and make a new video in about 6 months, testing a lot of brands of brushes and see how they do and perform over long time use. I will give this brush a bit of a torture test because now I'm going to apply a skin wash on these nice gentlemen here. And the brush is amazing applying these washes. These guys are wearing kilts, and I've never painted kilts before. I think I will try to use some masking tape and see how it goes. Even though I have the tape, I will still try to stay within the lines, and I wasn't very good at that. Let's try to pull off these maskings and see how it looks. We also need to do some horizontal masking, so see how that goes. I'm thinning down the paint a lot so it will have some sort of transparency. Let's set that aside and try the number 1 brush. See if I can make some tiny patterns freehand in here. I don't think this kilt will be any better than this within my little time limit. So let's start working on the face and make some white in their eyes. I will continue using this 2-0 brush and start making some highlights on their faces. I will almost call these guys done, but we still need one thing. They have this very special emblem here on their hat, or badge. And I was told it was made out of silver, so let's make it a bit more shiny than it is. And also make some highlights here and there on the rifle. And that's it. These two New Zealand Armed Constabulary police officers, soldiers, they were people obtaining the law. So far, I'm impressed over these brushes, but the question is, how will they perform over a long time use? After a good cleaning, they just came right back into their shape, and that's a pretty good sign for now. The models themselves, I think they turned out pretty good. I have never tried painting kilts before. I spent almost 3 hours painting just those kilts with some masking and some freehand work. I think the result turned out okay for the first time painting kilts. And I'm really happy that I could help Tony adding these two figurines to his collection. I didn't know much about their history, and it's very interesting. So it's a part of history of the world that people rarely hears about. If you want to know more about this New Zealand Armed Constabulary, I'll put a link down below where you can read some more about it. And talking about links, there is also some affiliate links if you want to support this channel and pick up these nice brushes. You'll get a 15% discount if you use the code OLE. And thank you so much to the Golden Marble for sending me these brushes. I really appreciate that they took the time and effort to ship those, and I will definitely use them in future projects. This is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.